What's up, everybody, and welcome to another ShawnSetGO video. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the most recent updates to Crests and what you need to know and then what to expect when those things come. For those of you who don't know, this is a topic most likely for the people who are a bit more involved with upgrades and gearing in the War Within. For most people, I think, have a basic understanding of this, but of course, if you learn anything with this video, please do give the video a like, subscribe to the page. Let's spread the information out there, as well as additional positive changes just like this in the game. I know sometimes we talk about just the negative things, but we like to do a healthy mix here, and we will in this video as well. But let's jump right into it. So for those of you who haven't seen the blue post, basically it says that with 11.0.7, as well with the start of Season 2, we are going to expect updates with Crest, primarily with, this is going to be for focus of people who've been playing at least a little bit in the game so far, but with the Runed and Gilded Crests. So most important thing is that we're getting upgrades with the amount of crests dropped, and then essentially a flat fixed rate with how many lost if you do not time a mythic. That's the meat and potatoes of it, is just more crests because there has been a severe lack. Additionally, there is a change in the amount of crests that it requires to get to those upgrades and to make those conversions into trading up, I guess is the word for it. And so that's going to be changing as well. But most likely people, for the most part, have experienced some sort of drought. And what I mean is, about 25 days ago, this post was made. It says, "Hear me out before you go. Stop buffing content." This is what it's about. At this point of Mythic Plus, high level 630 people who can farm 11s sign up for 8s because they're farming Crest. Why do harder content? So you can see already that there's this misalignment with earning crests versus, well, why do harder content when there's no purpose to? Where it's like there's this obvious cutoff. It's the same way with delves. There's an obvious cutoffs at 8s, and we don't go beyond 8s typically, just because it's a lot of extra effort for zero to no, like very little payoff. But that was a month ago. A little bit closer to this date, it says Blizzard is silly to design warbands to encourage alts, yet making crest farming is so disgusting. When I log in on my warband and think it's starting an alt, but I get put off the moment a gazillion crest is what is I need to be farmed per alts. Surely there'll be more catch-up mechanic. It's been 11 weeks in Season 1. We cannot be expected to farm crest as if the dungeons were fresh. Additionally, I find the supposedly alt-friendly system is useless, and the fact that crest farming feels so disgusting. First comment here says, "I do not this season." That's how my main won't get 639, but 636 something max. I will not be receiving Gilded Crest discount. No catch up mechanics. You just need to relish the grind. So I mean, like this was happening right up to the point, but just some communication improvements, but that obviously needs to happen, because like what was happening between then and now, if you look at the Reddit post, it's littered with complaints about crests. So how long has this been going on? Well, not everyone's been in the same boat, because it says too many people complaining about crest and ketchup. I see ketchup again. I see way too many people post about it would take 90 times 8+ mythics to get to level my alt up. Yeah, there shouldn't be a catch up mechanic that literally devalues the hard work everyone put into those crests. So you can see some of the, I mean, we've talked about this before. I think it's the community versus itself sometimes, where it seems like the majority of opinion states one thing. So you're like, everyone agrees with this. Why hasn't the change been made? But then you see opinion like this, and it's like some people, I think, let their pride get in the way of positive change, to where we can't see those things happen because people so believe one thing's gonna happen. One thing I've said constantly is that toxicity in Mythic Plus is something that we've all dealt with to some degree, but attacking the toxicity in the Mythic Plus, saying like we're just going to attack the behavior systems and we're going to make punishments for those who are toxic in the system and not actually make positive changes like these Crest improvements. It's like, of course you're going to have negative systems. Optimally, you would have both, right? You would have systems that curb negative behaviors in the game, but then you would also have systems that make improvements. But it seems like we get this kind of constant teetering between one or the other. Or when we try to change one or both of these, then people kind of attack it going, well, toxicity and Mythic Plus just get good. Or people go, well, these are positive changes. Don't create catch-up mechanics. Like we don't need these. It's going to devalue people who put in all the hard work. It's like, well, not everybody relishes in the grind. Not everybody appreciates it in the same way that you're claiming. So it's like, it's hard for these things to happen. But I wanted to look back a bit because I wanted to see, I mean, this is 11 weeks that we're looking at this, but of Mythic Plus, but let's look at how far did this issue go back? Valorstone acquisition needs to be buffed. I am quickly finding out that Valorstones are far and away the limiting factor on upgrading gear so far this season. If we are doing a normal amount of content, the limiting factor should be Crests, since the surplus Valorstones needed to catch up on off-spec or better itemized pieces in already upgraded slots. I'm sitting at 90 plus rune crest that I'm waiting on Valor to actually use. This will get even worse when I'm going to need it for upgrading all the way through Gilded. So even months ago, it's being reported. I mean, this is 351 updates, 121 comments. People are talking about this and mentioning even the feature with the caps. By the way, it's something I haven't even mentioned yet. So there's right here. So upgrade Crest now uncapped with the War Within Season 1. So that was 3 days ago. And then this update was what, 2 days ago now? 1 day ago now. So you have these, I guess, discongruencies between people making these reports pretty early on and then these updates which seemingly come a little bit too late. So it's like, I want to be excited for this. I think this is an overall W. Don't think I'm just being negative with its features, but I do think that these things often come a little bit like too little too late, or there's a lot of people who end up, well, I'm used to this, so I'm going to do this system. And now the system's changed, and now it's the way it should be from the beginning. And I think there's a number of people who don't care. They're like, oh, well, I got what I needed to. I did put in the work to do it. But there's also a group of people who go, well, I put in all this work and now it's easier for people. Now it kind of just feels bad. Like feels like I never should have put in that work then, because I could have put in the work now and then I would have had a lot less time, or I would have had a lot more time to myself or to do something else than just focusing on this. So, I mean, I of course want to repeat that this is an overall positive. I think this is good. But in the end, it's like, it is missing a little of that, I guess, like, is it a good change for the sake of being a good change, or is it a good change because it's been in a not so good state for so long that it's like, well, here, like now it's just at the end of it. And it's like, well, I don't think we feel the same way about it, or we don't feel as good as we could have felt if this was done months ago. So a little bit of more information about this is farming Crest as of 11.0.7. More Crest drop from Mythic Plus, including untimed. Cost of crafting Crest goes from 90 to 60, which I think is a big deal. Cost of upgrading bags goes from 90 to 45. Another big one. This means that currently 216 weathered makes 1 gilded, and with the cap that was just removed, this was not an effective way to farm Gilded Crest. However, with the removal of the cap, the better exchange rate, 27 weathered makes 1 gilded and 9 for runed to gilded and 3 for carved gilded, which means that farming Gilded Crest through other crests will be a lucrative option. This is obviously very good for alts, especially those of you, I think it's like the 636. It's like that range where you get the discounted rate. So it's like, this is very good for alts. And then it says LFR. So what will be the best way to farm them? LFR raid, collecting orbs, Mythic Plus. And I scrolled down a bit and saw this comment and I was like, well, this actually is just interesting. If it only takes 27 weathered per gilded. After the patch, I would suspect a lot more people collecting those flying orbs. You must have a good route for them if you're going to get enough to get a gilded every 1.5 out of them. No, though I might see 1 or 2 while traveling around, but I haven't spent my time to respawn route for them. So you, I guess it's something you could do. I still need to somehow hit 639 eye level to be able to purchase gilded. That seems like the biggest hurdle for non-raiders rather than the cost. 619 is required to buy gilded. 636 post patch. Okay, so 619 is required to buy gilded, and then 636 post patch will make upgrades. I think it's like a lower cost, right? You can exchange the runes gilded as soon as your character gets 619 in all slot. 636 on every slot unlocks the achievement where you can get alts only needed 10 per upgrade instead of 15 gilded. So I think this is a great improvement, but then there was this comment that I saw. It says, if Weather Farm doesn't get nerfed or very shortly after the patch launches, I'll be very surprised. People seem to forget about the fact that you need 619 item level to upgrade runes to gilded. So before getting this amazing farm, you will need to either upgrade or craft items to 619 in all slots. So let's keep in mind that as much as we want to glorify, this is going to be an improvement. You do have to reach a certain, like there's a certain barrier to entry that is doable. Don't get me wrong, it's doable. But I mean, I don't know if I'm a good comparison to go by. I'm currently 615 item level. I do a number of things as well as play WoW and stream and make content. So I'm not at the cutting edge. I'm not playing like hours upon hours every single day, but I do play a decent bit for what it's worth. And I'm not sitting at that 619 level. So let's not glorify the weathered farming. But I mean, I think overall, this does feel good for Mythic Plus farm. You know, like, you know, having the decent improvements there is a decent farm. And then on top of that, if you are an altaholic and you do like playing those things, like doing multiple characters, then at least you have improvements beyond your main, which you've geared well and you've gotten to that level. So I think a lot of great improvements, a lot of great changes, but let's keep in mind the distance between complaints and issues with the game, and then all the way to actual fixes. I know the game development cycle is a rough one. I know a lot of changes come, but ultimately it feels like to me that we are often looking so far into the future of what's ahead and what's to come that we forget about what's happening right now. And it seems like more than ever in this current expansion, we're looking to what's to come. And it's kind of making us ignore some of those issues, or these issues are kind of be putting to the side, whether through effort of the community and them kind of combating themselves, or through developers focusing on like getting this OP ring set up and Siren Isles and what's to come with 11.0.7. And then additionally, you have these two combating these things, but additionally, you have people looking so close to their own personal situations that they can't think about more than just themselves. I think that often people have this narrow-minded view of what's best for them is best for everybody else, or the opposite, which is what I have to struggle through, everyone else has to struggle through, or because I was able to do it, now you have to go through the same thing. But I think we need to drop these things. I think these are the things that need to go away. You know, along with the toxicity, we need to embrace these positive changes and look for, say, for example, less tank busters that are happening every single Mythic Plus, that happen so frequently that you have these huge droughts on tanks. I said it in a comment a little while ago in one of my recent videos, but I said a tank is a single point of failure that will kill 5 people. A healer is a single point of failure that will kill potentially up to 5 people. but it's not. But at least it's a high chance that if at least your tank is performing there, that you're just gonna have a one-off. You know, like there's still that shot. So these tanks are in these positions to where they're so stressed. They're in these high stress situations, and it's a single point of failure that can immediately kill groups. But we're not focusing on anything there. Like we're not bringing anything there. The communication isn't quite there to tell us that these updates are happening. Like what's happening? What's being improved and worked on for that? And in reality, we don't really see it. And updates like this, while positive, it is unfortunate that it isn't until the moment it's released that we hear anything about this. So it makes it feel like it's either just done on the fly like this, or that the complaints hit such a high level that they decided to change it on a whim, hoping that it would kind of have some retention, you know, bring some people back who had left and gone, I don't feel like doing this anymore. So let's stop allowing things to happen in this manner. Let's have an improved way of getting these things to the developers and have routes, you know, the routes that they provide to us, that the communication improves. Because in the end, when it's provided this late, it feels like crumbs. It feels like crumbs that it's just kind of given, that everyone's like, yay, yay, yay. But we don't even know if this is going to fix it. We don't know if it's going to improve it to the point that we're looking for. So let's get better communication so we can understand that these things, if these things are going to be an improvement as much as they claim. But that's all I got for this video. I hope this video was informative to you. I hope this was helpful for you. And I hope that this helps maybe get you inspired to do this a little bit longer and hang on a little bit longer, at least until we get to housing and we can see if it's good or not. I think a lot of people are holding on to that, that or Mario Kart, you know, Undermined, aka Undermined. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the page. Check out my stream, twitch.tv/ShawnSetGO. We'll be streaming there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on top of that, join our Discord to share content or ideas that you would like me to share in the YouTube page as we start making more videos and more often, more regularly. So until next time, catch you in the next one. Peace.